Hi, I'm Eric.
And I'm Dick. We are the Annuity Guys.
Dick, you know you got to be fed up with all these exaggerated annuity claims. What are these guys?
Eric, I get the calls literally every day.
Yes.
And it usually starts off something like this. Hey, I want to ask a couple questions about annuities because I'm talking with an advisor, and that advisor, has kind of shown me how this works, but I'm interested in that 6.5% or that 7% that's guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. And just yesterday, I had someone that was talking about, well, I want to walk away with this money at the end of 10 years, and it's all exaggerated.
Well, and that's the problem. You're getting half the story. I think you get advisors out there that are afraid to tell you the full truth because they're afraid you won't buy from them if you don't tell them. If I go beyond, are there 6.5% guarantees? Yes, and if I stop there, you'll buy, right? If I don't go on to explain that those 6 and 7%, those numbers are tied to the income base account.
It's just an income formula.
It's part of a formula that's eventually going to derive a income.
Exactly. And if the advisor talks about the actual growth of your money, what you could expect from an annuity, the first place to start is the base guarantee.
Yeah, what's guaranteed? So if you know you want these dollars for income in 5 years, let's look at what it's guaranteed to produce for you during that time frame. Because you're going to have to know not just that income-based roll-up, that 6, 7, 8%. You're going to have to know the formula that then is coordinated usually with a payout, whether it be a single or joint.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, now you've got all these moving parts, and people are afraid to explain that to you because you might get confused, and then you won't want to buy because.
So if I just simplify it and I say you get 6.5%, and here's a income projection based on 6.5%. So many folks are confused, and I think that what folks really want to know is hey, what could I expect my money to just simply earn, even if I'm not focused on income? What's my money going to earn?
Right.
And that's where we get down to those base guarantees on that portion of the annuity.
Yeah.
And those guarantees, especially on indexed annuities, tend to run somewhere around 0.
And people go, 0 stinks.
Who wants 0?
Exactly.
Yes.
But you know what? And that's where we talk about the ability to have growth without having any investment losses.
Correct.
And that's so.
Which
if
is
you're looking
appealing.
at indexed style account, that's what a lot of people want. They want some sort of guarantees.
Yes.
Even if you go in knowing that the guarantee is 0, and in all likelihood, you're going to do better than that.
Correct. And if we look at the Wharton study, we look at some of the newer annuities using the assumptions, the current annuity with some back testing against some of the indices that they use. I think folks could reasonably hope to make somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 3.5% up to about 6%.
Yeah, on something that's designed for growth.
Exactly.
And this is where we get into
that's the real money. Yes.
Yeah, and there are annuities out there that can grow by that amount. But you're oftentimes trying to get this best in class. You want the perfect annuity that's going to have double-digit upside potential, and it's going to have the best income, payouts.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
There's no silver bullet.
There's not typically one annuity that's going to give you the best of everything. You have to take a little bit of, a balancing effect. If you want the best income, oftentimes you don't get the best growth. If you want the best growth, oftentimes you don't get the best income.
Correct.
So there's these different pieces, and I think some of these advisors are afraid to say, you can have it all. You can have it all.
Yeah.
They might as well just run an advertisement that says, "We have free money."
Well, yeah, exactly.
Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to...
And that's where it's dubious. It's just too good to be true. You know it right up front. And that's why we get the phone calls we get, because folks kind of sense it's an exaggeration.
Yeah.
And I think that what frustrates me the most is that annuities used correctly, you don't need to exaggerate.
That's exactly it. They are a proper allocation as part of that investment allocation for retirement when properly allocated.
Right.
And you have to work with somebody that knows how they work and what they're designed to work for and what they're going to achieve.
Yes.
And use that as part of that blend.
Right. And we've said so many times, if you use annuities somewhat, like you would do a mix of stocks and bonds, and you use some portion of the bonds or replace the bond mix in your portfolio with annuities, you're going to get about the same type of growth, and you're going to have some additional guarantees and risk aspects that you can kind of pull off the table because of the annuity.
Right. You're trading away some of the unknowns of retirement for some
Right.
knowns.
Right.
And I think that's something that's appealing to a lot of people.
Is there any way that folks can know when they're being exaggerated?
Well, I always say use the mom standard. If it's too good to be true, it probably is.
I agree.